I'm going to hit record. I'm hitting record. We're going to try to start. If there's some issues, we'll have to go about this some other way. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat until Carrie's able to get in. While we're waiting for it, let me go over our announcements. Of course, we have our Venture Canada, if you guys haven't already heard about it. We are going to be in Canada April 11th through the 13th of 2014. It's all inclusive. So the price that you see when you go on to Prima's Facebook page, the link is on there. As soon as, okay, Carrie's going to be logged on as Prima. Prima Flowers 1 is going to be Carrie tonight. So if you see Prima Flower 1, that's going to be her. So she'll be able to answer the questions. Now for our Venture Canada, it's all inclusive. So that means accommodations, meals, snacks, make and takes, goodie bags, which if you have not been to a Prima Art Venture, the goodie bags are filled to the brim. We're going to have several sponsors, plus we're going to have 6 classes with myself, Carrie, and Lamore. And we only have 80 spots, so make sure to sign up. It's $50 to hold your spot. So there is a payment plan. I know the holidays are coming up, but you'll have plenty of time to pay the amount. See the Facebook event page for all of the information, for the link to sign up and the full details. And next week's class, or the next Live with Prima class coming up, is going to be Frank on Tuesday, November 11th, and he's going to be doing some Christmas cards. Alrighty. I know we're going to have such a good time. Prima Canada. Yeah, the chat isn't working. I was broadcasting but wasn't showing up. I'm really hoping this is recording, because if not, you are all out of luck. Just kidding. So tonight we're going to make this advent calendar. It's a no-sew, so you don't have to know how to sew to create this. You can make this with the kiddos if you want. Let me try and see if I can get a little better lighting over here. Because of the project, the lighting usually kind of turns out on me because of the light color. But what we're going to do is we're going to make this cool little calendar. Hanging calendar. You can see. Ooh, ah. And what I used to make this, I'm going to make all of my little slips out of the Prima Resist canvas. On my original, I took white, just white fabric. And you can do the same thing. You can use scraps of fabric that you have lying around. You can use the Resist canvas like I'm going to tonight. And what I'm going to do on the project I'm going to be working on tonight is, after I make this nice off-white version, I'm going to add some color to it. Because not all of us, we like a little color in our lives, you know. Also, I have to say this before I get started. If you have not seen Prima's Facebook page yet, one of the employees, very amazing dear woman, Shanette, has lost her home. And if you could go to the Facebook page, Prima's Facebook page, all of the information is there. She has 3 small children she's caring for, and they lost everything. So if you could please just take a moment to go over there, take a look. She, I mean, needs everything from clothes to furniture to everything. So please take time to go over there. Denny has all the information on the Facebook page. It would be hugely appreciated if you'd go take a look and just give a little bit or a lot or whatever you're able to help out with. All right? That I really wanted to talk about that. Okay? So we have our canvas piece, and the piece I did the original one on was a Canvas Corp banner, and it was already pre-made like this, but you don't have to go out and find a banner just like this. You can make one of your own. The minimum size, you can make it bigger, or make it bigger, because the minimum, this is kind of the minimum you can go. The minimum size of your canvas, finished canvas, is going to be 12, 24, let's see, about 30, yeah, about 30 inches long. And the width on that, I would say no less than about 14 inches, okay? So 30 by 14 inches is about the minimum you'd want your piece to be. And then our little slips, I'm going to show you how I made these. Very quick, very easy to cut out. Let me move this one away. And I'm actually going to move this one away. What I did was I took a piece of canvas, just duck cloth, which is the heavier canvas you can find at your materials store. And I just cut a piece. This is a little bit longer than the other one, but you do need enough fabric to fold your ends over. Okay, so, but we'll do that later. Again, you don't have to sew. I just take some fabric tack and tack the sides down, or you could even leave the sides loose and have a nice little frayed edge. Kind of your choice. Alrighty. So to get our little slips or our little pockets, what I'm going to use is Prima's new tag die cut. Okay. So the new Prima die, let me move my mat up a little bit. Alright. So for the Prima dies that we're going to be using tonight, I believe these are the correct numbers, 658526. It has two different size dies. You can kind of see the sizes in here. And they each have little eyelets at the top that we'll cut out. And then we also have 658528. And this is a floral piece. And this is the same flower that I used to cut out my little felt ornament. Okay? So you make so many different things with this one die. But we're going to make a little kind of final hurrah pocket for the day of Christmas and make it out of these flowers. Okay? So Shanette is like, she's the kick butt person at that office, I'm telling you. Now to cut our tags, we're going to need our little Sizzix die cut machine. It's the Big Shot. If you haven't used one of these, very simple to use. Not difficult at all. My computer is being very difficult. I don't know why. It does not like me, I'm telling you. It is after me today. Keeps telling me I don't have enough memory. How is everything going on your guys' end? Does it still look okay? I don't want it to be all jumpy and stuff. So what we're going to do is we have our little die cut, and then we have our sheets, and these are the die sheets that will imprint into the go through and help protect the die and the machine, basically. All right, so I'm going to open up a few of these elementals. Now the ones I'm using, I'll give you the item numbers. The ones I am using, 960582. And I'm just going to cut until I have them all cut. Okay. And then the other one I'm going to be using, it's got like a lace pattern on it. That one is 960650. We'll cut these first. Now, what I suggest is cutting these to match just our large ticket, or yeah, our large tag. We're not going to be using the small one. We just want the larger one. So you will have to do some cutting. About, let's see, let's measure, and then I could just cut down real fast. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to want about a 3 1/4. I just don't want to waste a lot of canvas, resist canvas if we don't have to. Now this die can go through many layers of fabric. The heavier the fabric, the less layers you'll be able to send through. Okay. And our last one's going to be a little bigger, but that's okay. And then let's go ahead and just cut to fit the die. So you should be able to get 6 tags out of one sheet of the resist canvas. Okay. So I'm just going to set that here. It's going to overlap a little bit, our little tag. Now if you want to do a full sheet, you can. That's up to you. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your first clear base down, then your die cut, your die, your fabric, and then your other clear acrylic piece. You're just going to run it forward. Now with fabric, I run it forward and then I run it back. Ooh, sorry if it's moving on you guys. I have a lot of material in here. I probably should have taken some of it out, but that's okay. It'll work. Then I'm going to run it back through just a couple times so that you know it's gotten through all of our layers. Okay. And here are our tags. Ooh, ah. Okay. Some of these you may have to kind of, because of the canvas, you may have to just cut a couple of little corners. Again, you could not send as many through as I just did and have no problem. But if you do, it's not a big deal. You just go back through and kind of tag those out. I'm really bummed about the lighting, you guys. Not happy at all. It's upsetting me greatly. Okay, put my little mess aside. We'll do the same thing with this one. I'm not going to send as many through at a time. Alrighty. Now, if you don't celebrate Christmas, you could still use this for something good. You could still have fun with it. I know my kids will enjoy it. I'll put little treats in there, little letters, coupons for, you know, something like day at the park or good fun. Okay, I'm only sending 4 through this time. Back through just a couple times, make sure we got a good cut in there. Okay. And the reason why I'm using all the resist is when we do actually spray it and take it to that next, not next level, but just different style, all this resist will pop out and you'll have really fun. Let's see, I can actually get a couple more tags out of here. I'm a little crazy tonight. Line that up. And run it through. Yes, the Prima dies for Sizzix are very popular. They are very useful. I will have to say you can get so many different uses and ideas from them. Like this wonderful advent calendar. Let's see. It says it's recording, Carrie. It says it is. With the way things are going tonight, I can't guarantee anything. The clock is still running, saying it's recording. So let's see how many I have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're halfway there. Okay, I have 2 more sheets. And this one is kind of got a nice filigree Baroque type design on it. And I have 2 sheets of that. And the item number on that one is 960643. Open both of them. How's everybody? Everybody on the chat okay? And everything's going smoothly? I hope so. I hope. Okay, let's see. Snip a snip, snip, snip. I'm piecing this. I piece a lot. Okay. That's the last one. Okay. Let's do this one first, so we don't break my arm trying to reel it through the machine. Now you could also use Tim's wonderful Vagabond machine, and you just push a button and it goes right through. Yeah, the Sizzix machine that I love as well. I just didn't want to have to plug it in. Alright. Ouch. For California stuff, I would send like jackets and sweaters, you guys. It does still get chilly down here for winter. We can get down into the 50s, 40s at night. So anything is going to be helpful, just not real heavy winter stuff. Okay, a couple little trims. Trim. Okay. All right. Now today, on the other hand, it did not feel like fall, which is upsetting because it's been fall-like for the last couple weeks. And then they throw out this like 90-degree weather. And it's killing me. It's killing me, Smalls. Okay. Run this bad boy through. Come on. Come on. Oh, you're going to be difficult. I got to take some fabric out. Dagnabbit. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. This is the longest process, I promise. The most tedious part of it is cutting all of these pieces out. Once you get them all cut out, it goes pretty quickly from there. I might be cutting more than I need, but that's okay. I can always use them later. Always, always. Now, the resist on these pages too kind of does restrict how many sheets you can push through the cutter. The resist adds a little bulk, and it adds a texture to the paper that kind of fights against the die. It'll work, and it won't ruin your die at all. I mean, these dies can cut through metal and wood, so it's not going to hurt your die at all to use them. I'm just letting you know, for thickness-wise, it may take more times to roll through. Okay. Oop, scoot that over. Alright, I think I have enough. If not, I can always cut more in a bit. So, what we're going to do next, pretty simple step here, is we are going to first clean up my little mess I got going, or it'll never get cleaned up. And then I'll have a mess like I did earlier today on my table. Okay. So now what you're going to do is, the way I made the pockets is I folded the top part that had the little eyelets. I folded those down. Okay. And you can do this as you're putting them onto your backdrop. But I just wanted to show you this way. Okay. And you can add a little just dab of glue. You can use hot glue. You can use beacons. I kind of like beacons because you have a little more play time before it decides to set. Sometimes the hot glue gun kind of cools too quickly, especially in those colder climates, and it won't stick like you need it. So there's one little pocket, and we'll go ahead and add it to our piece. Now what I did was I took two, okay, we'll run this down a little bit. So here's going to be my top. All right, so this is my top. And what I did was I took my first tag and I kind of just gave about a half an inch. I think it's about a half. Yeah, about a half an inch from the side. And that gives me enough room. I'm going to, for the tags, since I have different fabrics or patterns, I'm going to kind of mismatch them. And I'm going to set this one about a half an inch from the side as well. Okay. And this is really all you're going to do. And then center your other two like so between our outside tags. Okay. Easy peasy. So you don't have to bust out a ruler or anything. Ah, I got glue on my arm. You don't have to get out the ruler to exactly measure them all. I would just guesstimate, kind of eye them. If you don't feel comfortable, what I did, and I'll show you in a minute. Let me get the glue out of the way so I don't put my arm in it again. Let me get this first row down. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue, whichever one you prefer to use. I wouldn't use a tape runner because the tape runner is not going to be strong enough with the fabric. But all you're going to do is run a bead of glue on the two long sides and the bottom, and you're going to leave the top open to make your pocket. You want to try to get the glue as close to the outside as possible. That way you can fit whatever goodies. Now I do need to leave myself some room because this one doesn't have a little slip for a pull or twine, so I do need to leave myself some space up top to give myself that little loop. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down, continue through, and what I'll do is I'll show you the techniques on this one. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll show you on the other piece that I've already done how you can alter them to make them more colorful. Okay, because you guys don't want to see me gluing 24 of these little tags down, right? Or do you? It'll depend on how we're doing on time. Okay. Okay. The background is duck cloth or canvas. It's just a heavy canvas. You can find it at Joann's, which, by the way, if you guys weren't aware, Joann's now carries Prima products. Whoop whoop. But you can get it at any fabric store. You could probably even find pre-made banners or table runners. Table runner will work too, as long as they're wide enough. And make a couple out of one table runner. So what I did to separate my rows is I did take a ruler. And all I did was put it just like that. Okay. This is technical stuff right here. Now you can see I didn't get all even with my other tags, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is, using my ruler as a base line, I went ahead and folded my piece, and then I just ran it. Now it's not going to be exact because depending on your folds and stuff, they may not line up perfectly. Don't freak out about it. People aren't going to look at it that close. Your kids are just going to want whatever's in the pockets anyways. Or your loved ones, whoever you're making this for. You can make one for your dog. Put little treats in there every day. You can fit a little milk bone in there. My luck, my dog would pull it off the wall and have it torn to pieces. If she could reach that high. She's kind of short. And jumping isn't really in her vocabulary. Okay. So again, I kind of, same thing, just line them up. See how easy that is? Okay, what is the fabric? Okay. Double checking. And you just continue this all the way down. Till you get, I did that one backwards, but that's okay. You can do this as well. So on this one, what I did was I folded it backwards. So just my little tab, which would be a good idea. Happy accidents. Just my little tab has the resist on it, and the rest of the tag is just a plain canvas. So you can alternate that as well. Alrighty. See, I meant to do that. I did, really. I can at least pretend I did, right? Right. Alrighty. So who is all going to Anaheim or Canada for the art adventure so far? Raise your hands in the air. I can't wait. It's going to be so fun. We're going to have a good time. Some awesome goodies are coming up this next CHA. Just saying. I'm hoping you all like them. We're going to have some good fun. Okay. I want Carrie's mini from the other day. Okay, so for our tags, you're just going to continue down. See? Continue down. Oh, I got it some time. I'll just speed this up. We're going to do fast, like I'm fast forwarding, speeding light YouTube video. Okay? So you're going to line these up again. Of course, they're not going to be exact. It's not a big deal. Fold, 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 and fold. Come on. Glue, 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 glue. And more glue. And glue a little more. And once you're done, make sure you add more glue. Okay? Okay. Oh, I did 2 backwards on that side. I'm not paying attention. Okay. I did have 3. Oh my word. The heat's getting to me. Haha. Okay. And one more. Thirty times 12. Like, okay. Anybody have questions? Okay. Let's see. Feels weird with dead air. Gluing is so boring. Boring, boring, boring. Okay, so has anybody done Christmas shopping yet? I haven't started. You can use a table runner. The only restrictions are that your width needs to be about 14 inches. You could do a little smaller. You could probably get away with 12, but it would be very crowded. And then your length has got to be about 30 inches. So you could probably split a table runner in half and get enough. Like this piece, what I did was I took a rug, a canvas rug, and I cut it in half lengthwise, and I had plenty of fabric. That way it's a little easier than trying to measure out an actual piece of loose fabric, cut fabric. You know what I mean? Okay, this is the last row I'm going to glue down. And then I'll show you a couple of the other little bits and pieces that I did. Okay. Because you guys are going to glaze over if I continue to glue. I'll show you how I made our little pocket out of the flower for the last day. Okay. So for our alphabets, you can use any alphas that you have on hand. You will probably need 2 or 3 sets just because of the numbers. I kind of used letters as well. Let me find my alphabets. I made the mistake of putting them away the other day. Let's see. Crash. Crash, bam, boom. Okay, here are some of the numbers, the alphas I use. So you can use different sizes, you can use different fonts, you can use different colors. I use brown. You can use whatever ones you have on hand, especially if you want to get it, kind of add a little pop of color to it, but don't want to color the entire thing. You can use reds and greens and mix and match and kind of just have fun with it. I just went ahead and I pulled my letters. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to make sure you glue these on because they won't last. They have adhesive on the back, but if you plan on keeping this or giving it as a gift, you want to make sure you add a little adhesive to the back of these numbers. And I just put them right onto the corners of our little pockets. Okay, so you're going to continue that all the way through the piece. And I'll show you on this one how I did that. Okay, see, I took a couple little different fonts. I mixed and matched. You're not going to have enough in one package. I will tell you that. I got a little inventive. I used the eyes for my ones because you do use a lot of ones in there. And you just kind of add these here and there. Now you also will see some of our little rub-ons. Now the rub-ons I used were from the North Country. Is it North Country? Is this? I believe it is. Doesn't say it on the package. The item number is 550851. And they're flocked rub-ons. They're really pretty Christmas designs in there. And they rub onto the fabric great. Okay. Yes, it is a great project to use up your alphas. You can even just write them on if you want to, but the alphas work great because they add dimension. They add a little, just a little different look to it. Now I'm going to cut some of these out. I'm going to add a couple more onto this existing one because, again, we'd be here all night if I sat there and glued those on. But what you're going to do is you're just going to cut these out. I leave the back sheet on until I'm done cutting. That way they don't stick to anything. They do have a slight adhesive to the back. And then you're going to grab your handy dandy Prima Comfort Craft tool. Okay, let me move this out of the way so we're flat on the table. All right. Okay, here's our little rub-on. Let's pick another little spot to put this. Let's put it up top here. Okay, take our Comfort Craft tool. Now there is a brayer on the end. Some of you may not know. And if you haven't seen this one, let me show you kind of all the little different tricks that come with this one tool. Alrighty. Let me see if I can get my lighting a little better. That helps a little bit. Here's the Comfort Craft tool. Most of you have seen it. Just in case, there's a really light sandpaper edge. There's a heavier grit bottom, kind of like an exfoliator pedicure file. The piece, this pops off and there comes with an extra one of these so you can clean out all of your shavings. I was using it on foam the other day. Then you have like a distressing blade on the side. You have a bone fold, and then you have a brayer for rub-ons. If you remove that, you also have a wire brush for distressing as well. So this is a really cool little tool. So what I'm going to do, I got foam on my page. So I'm just going to take my little distressing tool, my little brayer, and rub that right onto the canvas. Now if you have a really detailed rub-on, what I would do, especially with the flocked ones, I would go over it and then I would kind of run my nail over the top. You get a little better feel of which spots haven't stuck to the canvas. That way, kind of lift, kind of rub as you go. And once you get it started, it usually will sit flat on the project. Okay. All right. See? Woohoo! Isn't that pretty? So a little recap, what I did was I cut my tags using the fabric. You can use fabric you have. You can use the resist canvas, like I showed you tonight. We use Prima dies. We're using the, the tag dies that comes with 2 different size tags. And we're going to fold the tabs over and then we're going to just line them up as you go down. Now as you can see, I kind of ran out of fabric for these. So I just made little pockets. You can make smaller ones as you go down and add like maybe $1 in there, roll it up and add little fun bits and pieces. You can mix and match. It's all up to you. I just wanted to show you kind of the way I use the tag die. Now for this little guy, for our last day, what I used was the flower die. And the same technique, goes for this as it does with the, excuse me, with the ornament. So I'm going to show you that technique, and then we can build this little cluster in the corner, okay? So what you're going to need for our little flower, oh, I have a frog in my throat. Uh-oh. Okay. So what we're going to need is some felt or fabric, and I'm going to use felt for this one. I have a really light white. This is almost like a batting, I think, but it still has the same texture as felt. Dang it. And what you're going to do, I'm going to take a couple layers. Let me cut this. You want to make sure it covers the entire die, because we're going to use all of the flowers in there. I'll just layer these up. I'm going to do 2 layers. Grab my die cut machine again. Okay. Put my first piece down, my die, and then my other mat on top. I may have to cut this fabric down, but we'll see. Press that through. Easy peasy. Okay. It looks like it went all the way through. Yay. So we have our little flowers. Okay. We're not going to use the leaves. You can if you want, but I'm not going to on this project. So you're going to take your 2 larger pieces. You're going to save one, put that one aside, and then you're going to take your 2 mediums and kind of stagger those. So your petals are offset, and then you have your little ones, which I'm going to use one in the center. Alrighty. And what you'll need is you'll need some embroidery thread. Doesn't matter what color. Excuse my reach there. And you'll need a needle. You can also just glue them together if you want, if you don't want to mess with this part. Okay. And this is the same step for my little ornament as well. You don't need much thread. And just take it. Now, an easy way to thread your needle, instead of trying to put the thread on or push the thread through the needle, you put the needle on the thread. And what I do is I wet the tip and I pinch it in my fingers, between my fingertips, and then I settle the needle over the thread instead of the opposite way. Kind of gives you a more stationary position instead of trying to line them up. There we go. See? Easy peasy. So you have your thread. Go ahead and knot it. You just need, I use the whole thick strand. You can separate them if you want for thinner, but thick's good for now. You start from the back. You're just going to make a little cross stitch through your layers to kind of tie them together. Nothing too fancy. I taught the kids, not the girls, the girl and the boy how to cross stitch this last weekend. It's kind of funny. All right, easy. That's as easy as it gets. Okay, so you just want a little stitch, and what that'll do too is kind of help pop up your layers. And you just run your needle through the back stitch of your thread to finish it off. to finish it in a knot. Like so. Easy. And what you're going to do now is you are going to go ahead and glue the back flower on. Now what I did to kind of guess where my glue needed to be was I put a gift card in and I glued around the gift card. That way you know the gift card will fit in if you want to put one in there. Come on. Come on, adhesive. Okay. You just add your glue on the sides. Like so. Sandwich your flower, your other flower on top. They could be lined up where you could stagger them as well. And then you have a little gift card holder. See, so fun and easy. Here's our little holder. Okay. Now, what I did to decorate this one is I took a few of our flowers and resins. You can see our little deer resin. Don't you love this little guy? I took some spray paint and spray painted him gold. You could use spray paints, you could use the chalk inks. I'm going to go ahead and use chalk inks tonight so I don't have to go outside and spray paint. Okay. You can use other flowers like these little felt ones. These I did for Prima last year. And the number on those, they're Encore Tartan 558680. These are the Shabby Chic resins from Ingvild, and the item number on those 890827. Let me pull the little deer out. There's a deer and a squirrel. Okay. Carefully pull them off. I would pull from the top off, that way you don't bust his little legs off. Okay. And that's not all. Let me find my piece. My little piece of wood. Where are you, little piece of wood? Okay, so we have our little wood piece that we're going to add to this little flower. Now you don't have to add all this stuff. You can just leave it with the plain flower and glue it onto your advent calendar at the end and put a 25, this is your last day type of thing. Or you can add little layers of goodies on top. Or you can do the same idea for your ornaments as well. So the chalk ink I'm using is Teak Wall, and I'm just adding this right over the top of my little deer, and as you can see it colors it up really quickly. I would heat set it just so you know that it's dry. Alright, add a little more on his bum. See that cutie patootie? Okay, so we have our little deer. I'm going to use my little red poppy on this one. I'm just going to kind of offset it. These kind of build our base for more elaborate ideas. Come on. I need to cut a bigger hole in my glue. Like that. Okay. Okay. Now our little rub-ons we used earlier, we can also add to our little piece of wood, which I'm going to. I'm going to add a couple little snowflakes. The good part about these little rub-ons is they can go on pretty much any surface. I'm just going to use my finger real quick. Make sure it lifts. The wood's a great surface because it'll grab very easily. And see that? Ooh, quick little ornament, or the last day of your Advent. You can add these little guys to it just to add a little extra floral design if you want. Okay, kind of stick them in here and there to add their good filler flowers. Awesome filler flowers. When you have kind of a dead spot and you want to just add a little oomph. Okay. Add a couple more. Over here. And there you go. Look at that. And you can go ahead and put it at the bottom, like I did on this one. You can see, you can just set, what you do is glue the back piece down flat, and then place it for your last day. Or if you want to use this as a ornament, you take some trim, any type of trim, any type of Prima trim. Just cut a short piece. Okay. And kind of tuck it onto the back, like so. And then it can hang from your tree. Isn't that cute? Okay, so that is how I made my ornament slash last day on my Advent calendar. So if you want to take this kind of to a more colorful level, let me show you a kind of fun idea. Since we used all of those resist canvas pieces, why not utilize those, okay? I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate on this one. Okay, so we have all of our little resist pieces hanging out up here, kind of dull. What I would do is I would take some water and just spray water over the top of it. When you use water before you use your sprays, what it does is it helps your sprays spread a little easier, and you're not using as much color that way. So just going to spray all this. That way it kind of helps soak up some of our mist a little easier. I'm going to combine two colors. I'm going to make this one kind of a Grinch green looking thing. And the sprays I'm going to use are the Dilutions ink sprays. One is cut grass and the other one is fresh lime. And I'm going to blend these bad boys together. Let's get a little barricade going so I don't make a complete mess. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to use my light color first. I'm going to come in with my little cut grass. This is very bright, but it's really fun, especially if you want to hang this in a kid's room. You could really get colorful with this, you know? And look at just that little spritz against the resist canvas. That pop of color in the stark white of the resist canvas pops out so much. Isn't that fun? You can kind of dab some of this off. Now I will say with the dilutions, I would strongly suggest once you spray these to go ahead and use a fixative over the top of your canvas. I usually use like a workable fixative. Krylon makes one. You could use a Scotch Guard, something that's just going to adhere this, because once with the dilutions, if they get wet again, they'll reactivate. So if this is dry, and it's dry for a good couple weeks, if I came back in, and I'm going to show you this, let me wipe away some of this. I came back in with water, it's going to reactivate, and you can see how it's already starting to color, change its color. So if you want to go ahead and color this, I would strongly suggest whatever mist, doesn't matter what mist you use. You could even use Heidi's Color Shines. Let me find a really cool color that complements these two. Let's go ahead and use this one. This is teal, Heidi's teal. To add a little shimmer. Woohoo! Look at that. You're still going to want to use a protective coat over the top of it, okay? So you could definitely take this to a very colorful, fun, youthful design. You could also leave it a very shabby, light color like I originally showed you guys. But I just wanted to show you that you could take this to so many different levels, fit so many different styles and ideas. You can really make this match your home decor for the Christmas and holiday season. Alrighty. Does anybody have any questions? I hope I got you guys the techniques that you need to finish the project. I know not having it completely done, but it would have taken a while to glue all those tags down. But you guys got the idea, right? Again, let me show you the finished one. This is our colored version. You can definitely get really fun colors using different mists and sprays. You can even add more flowers if you want. And here is our finished piece. Oh. See? Okay. Thank you again for coming tonight. Again, next Tuesday, Frank's going to be on with Christmas cards. Make sure to check out the Prima Facebook page for a few things. Shanette could really use our help. We are crafters and artists, and I know we're a very giving group, so we really should try to give for her and her family. And Art Venture, we have Canada's Art Venture. We need you guys to come because we're going to have lots of fun. All right, have a good evening. Thank you for coming, and I will see you guys next month. Bye.